Welcome to Coffee Talk with Liquidshano 1973. And now your host, me, Shane Lakita. Hey guys, so here we are again on another episode of Coffee Talk with Liquidshano 1973. And I'm so glad you're here with me. And it's a Wednesday. It's midway point to the week. We're trying to go out and do great things. We're trying to go out and make things happen. We're trying to be successful. We're trying to be healthy. We're trying to be wealthy and wise. And midway points of the week are usually one of two things. One of them is you just cannot wait for the week to be over and get to the weekend and spend time with your family and do all the things that you want to do to be able to just enjoy your time off. Or the other part is you've had a really good, successful couple days. And it's midway point of the week, and you're like, all right, well, it's okay. It's Wednesday. Who cares? I'm still fighting, and I'm still doing the things that we have to do. I'm tracking my calories. I'm counting my points. I'm doing all the things that I have to do. I'm getting my workouts in, and you feel successful. So which one of those two are you at right now at this of the midpoint of the week that we're at? And if it is a Wednesday when you're listening to this, whatever day that you're at right now, has it been a successful week? Or has it been a week where you're just like, I just want it to be over and get it done? So that's kind of like where we're at right now. So I got a really special episode going on right now. I've got my video aspect of what we're doing here that I'm actually going to be putting on my Liquidshano 1973 YouTube channel that's on there, and I'm going to be able to record the beginning section of this until we go into the meat and potatoes, kind of give people a teaser of what to look for. So you'll be watching this if you do check out the YouTube channel for Liquidshano 1973, and then also hearing it right here. So the first thing I want to go through real quick before we get into the body of the podcast itself is I want to celebrate in a patron that we have, a new patron that we have, and we are here to celebrate in Sheila White is her name. Thank you, Sheila, so much for becoming a Tier 2 patron of the show, where the Tier 2 package is called the Cup of Burning Love. And basically what she's going to do is she's going to receive the Tier 2 package swag. So basically get some items that are going to be sent to her after she's a patron for about 3 months, and basically pledges to the show to be able to donate to the cause. And I know you guys have heard me talk about the patron aspect of the page before, but if you want to become a patron of it, you can go to www.patreon.com/Liquid Coffee Talk, and you can enter right in there. You can become a patron of the show. And the other piece to it is on the Patreon page, there's actually going to be some exclusive content where I'm going to be able to record special exclusive podcasts just for the patrons that are on the show. So the free stuff is right here. You're right here. I'm here with you. You're out having a walk. You're doing your workouts or whatever. But if you want more content and you want more things that we're talking about, or something a little more specialized towards the patrons of the page, sign up to be a patron. Go right on to the Patreon page. Become a patron of the page, Tier 1, Tier 2, or Tier 3, and you'll be able to have access to each one of those exclusive contents that I'm putting out. And I will be doing some things like interviewing people or actually expressing myself in a different way, in a different fashion, and maybe going through different things like trying to do different recipes or doing different things that we're going to be able to continue to push forward with. But I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you so much, Sheila, for becoming a patron. And if you're interested, go ahead and sign up whenever you get a chance. Okay, so here we are. It's a Wednesday, and we're going to get right into the body of this podcast, because I think it's some really important stuff to talk about investments and return on investments. Okay, let's get right into it. Something that I wanted to celebrate a little bit that I wasn't even thinking about as we're coming up from this little beautiful music that I got going on is the fact that this is episode 150. 150. And I know that when I first started doing the podcast, I was doing it probably just about every day. And I know that with the Patreon aspect of it, I'm going to try to do a little more often on that end. But once a week here is really something that I can definitely work within my schedule. But this is episode 150, and I have all of you to thank for the fact that I've continued to drive and continue to move forward with this podcast and be something that I look forward to, something that helps me, something that motivates me and gets me moving in the right direction. And I just wanted to say thank you to each and every single one of you. And I know that I have on the Podbean app, I have about 400 subscribers, and then I've got, like I've shared before, I got about 107,000 downloads that have been put onto different people's phones, platforms, all the different things that you guys have done to be able to invest in me and then also listen to me and be able to share your thoughts with me. So I'm so appreciative of each and every one of you guys. I say it all the time, but I have to say it because it's something that is on my mind at all times whenever I go on to the platform or onto my mixer or on my microphone and talk to you guys and have a conversation with you, because at the end of the day, you're why I'm doing it. And I know it's for me, right? I know it's to get my mindset right, but you're one of the driving forces for me to be able to continue to push forward and play in this space and put myself out there and be vulnerable and talk about struggles and strengths and all that stuff. So thank you so much. Here we are, episode 150. Okay, so today's topic is about investment. I posted yesterday on Instagram, Facebook, and Connect and all the other different platforms that I utilize. It was about investing. And so here's a question for you. I want you to think about this. I want you to step back and just think, what does 4% mean to you? Okay, 4% is a very small number when you think about in the grand scheme of 100%. It's only 4%. It's a very small snippet, a very small slice of whatever it is that you're looking at the overall. So basically, if you're looking at $1, it's 4 cents, right? If you're looking at $100, it's $4. It's a very small portion of the grand scheme of things. And 4% is the number I want you to keep in mind as we're having this conversation. Okay, so now what if I was to tell you when it comes to finances and it comes to money and stocks and bonds and investments and things like that, you were to take that 4% investment. Like let's just say, for instance, you're going to take that $4 and you were to invest into something and you were to know that there was going to be a tenfold return on your investment. Okay, so the risk is really low when you're thinking about it, and you put the 4% in to whatever investment that it is. So if it's a stock or it's a bond or it's an IRA or it's whatever else that you're putting it into, a 401k or whatever, and you put 4% in to know at the end of the day you were going to get a return on investment of tenfold, 20-fold, or 30-fold. Would you make that investment? Do you think you would take a low-risk investment like that of a 4%, whatever it is that you're being able to put in there, whether it's 4% of your paycheck or 4% of $100 or 4% of $1? If you were to make that investment and you were to know that you were going to get a return on investment, to know that it was going to come back to you tenfold, 20-fold, and 30-fold, would you make that investment? I pretty much guarantee that every one of us, including me, would make that investment in 2 seconds if we knew that our return was going to be that high and we were going to get a return that's going to be at a level that you were going to be able to put whatever it is that you're going to put in there, and then you were going to be able to gain back your asset, your original input or your original investment, and be able to gain back that much. Absolutely 100%. Sign me up today, right? I mean, the human nature is we want to be able to gain on whatever we're investing. So if it's money, great. If I put money in, I want money out. That's why a lot of people, even though there's risk to things like casinos and lotteries and things like that or whatever, people like to put it in there because they know that the output could be the fact that they're there, but they still put this money in, $1 investment or $2 investment to the Powerball, hoping that they can win $700 million, knowing that your chances are 1 in how many millions if you put 4% in on this scenario that I was talking about earlier, knowing that you're going to receive a 10, 20, 30-fold return. Why wouldn't you make the smarter investment rather than the investment of a lottery or the investment of a blackjack table where you walk over and you let it ride and you put your money down hoping that the cards are going to be turned over in your favor? Now, the reason I share this with you is because 4% is what? Here's what 4% is. 4% is a representation of 1 hour out of a full day. Okay, so basically what I did, the math is, I took 24 hours in a day and I divided 1 by 24. So 1 hour of 24 is 4%. 4% of your day that you're living and breathing is 1 hour. Okay, so the way I look at it is if we can invest 1 hour in you, so whatever that investment is, let's talk about how we can invest in ourselves when it comes to our health and when it comes to us being better and trying to work for better things. If you work 1 hour a day, now it doesn't have to be all in one time. You can do half hour here, 15 minutes there, 20 minutes there, 40 minutes there, whatever it is. But you invest 1 hour of time in yourself where you want to go for a walk or you want to go for a run or you want to go to the gym or you want to meditate and you want to go into a room and turn off the lights and sit and have some you time and meditate on you and reflect on how you can be better and reflect on how you can be more at peace with the world or whatever else. Whatever ways that you can invest in you that can lead to healthier habits or long-term investments, why aren't we doing it? Some of us do. Some of us get in the zone where we're on it and we're doing it every single day and we're in the zone and we're good to go. And then what happens? A lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times we fall off the radar. And we go through that full-fledged of we are in the zone, we're working it, we're doing what we have to do, and then life happens, and then we stop doing it as much. We don't stay the same consistency that we do. Then we start to get depressed over the fact that we're not doing it as consistent as we should. Then we start to fall off the radar, and then we start to get down in the dumps, and then we start to beat ourselves up, and then we start to really feel like we're in this really bad place, and all those things. I've been there 1,000 times. That's why I share it with you, because I know you can relate. So if 1 hour of investment in yourself can lead to, like I said before, 10, 20, and 30-fold of a healthy, long life, why don't we do it every single day? Why can't we make the investment that's necessary in us to be able to keep pushing forward? Well, there's probably a couple reasons. I mean, there's some reasons where some people have busy lives. Moms might have 3 kids and they're taking care of the kids. They're getting the kids dressed. They're putting the kids out to school. They're doing all the things they have to do. They go out, they buy groceries. They go take off to the store. They go do whatever. They're trying to be able to dig at it. They're working. Then next thing you know, the kids are coming home from school. You got to pick them up at the bus stop. You got to bring them home. You got to cook dinner. You got to cook everything, get them to bed, boom. And then now the only thing you can think of is maybe possibly watching a little bit of TV at nighttime and then going to bed. Or maybe it's the fact that we talk ourselves out of it. How many times have you sat down when you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to go get an hour at the gym, or I'm going to go get a good workout going. I'm going to hop on the treadmill for 20, 30 minutes to be able to be part of that hour that I need to invest in myself. And I'm going to get on there. But the next thing you know, you talk yourself out of it because, okay, I don't really want to go to the gym. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be really jam-packed with a bunch of lugheads and they're going to be sitting there grunting all over the place and they're going to be staring at everybody. It might be a singles market and you're not really into it. You don't really want to deal with anything, or your battery's low on your phone. So you're not going to really get all that much music that you might want to play in your headphones. Or you make an excuse of it's really too cold to get there. You don't want to fight through the temperatures to get to the gym, to walk across the parking lot, to get in there, to go do the things that you have to do. We make every excuse in the world not to invest in ourselves because that's how we're wired. We might be tired. Maybe we're exhausted. Maybe we've had a long week. Maybe we've traveled a lot. Maybe we're just not in the mood. And we talk ourselves out of it more often than we talk ourselves into it, which is sad, but true. So when those times come around, when you're making an investment in yourself, that 4% investment for you to be able to gain the return that you're looking for, to be able to get to the place where you want to be, why don't we make it more often? The benefits that you reap from the fact that you're investing in yourself and you're just taking the time to be able to put one foot in front of the other, or to be able to have whatever exercise regimen that you might want to put together. Although at the moment in time that you're thinking about doing it and you're talking yourself out of it, how many times have you gotten done with it and you're done with your workout and you're having a good time. You're sitting down, maybe you're reflecting, or maybe you're in the car after the gym, or maybe you're sitting on the couch after you just ran a couple miles where you didn't want to in the beginning, but afterwards, how do you feel? I'll tell you how I feel. I feel euphoric. I feel at ease, at peace with myself. I feel like I could take on anything after that. I feel like anybody could come to me with any kind of argument, and I'll feel like I'll have it all lined up in a row because I'm in a really good place after I get done with it. But why don't I think that way before the workout? Why don't I think that way when I'm trying to talk myself out of it, out of just investing in a simple hour of time in myself? I should be thinking, if I go do this, imagine how good I'm going to feel after I'm done. Whoa, what a concept, right? I don't ever talk to myself that way because it's always the other side of the coin where I'm like, man, I got to do this again. I got to go do this again. I got to stay consistent. I got to keep working at it. I got to keep grinding. I got to keep doing this. It's all about the number on the scale. I got to keep focused on whatever. I know it's going to be good for my long-term effort. I know. So I'm eventually having to talk myself into it all the time and list out all the positives, which I know is necessary sometimes. But why can't I just look at myself and say, remember how you felt after you were done with your workout? Remember how you felt after you were done with your walk? Remember how you felt after you were done with your hour-long or 45-minute or half-hour meditation session that you normally do, when life is just coming at you at every angle and it's noisy and it's messy and it's gross and it comes at you all different directions and all the different dramatic situations might happen. And if you're a person that likes to meditate or get to a good place, how good do you feel after you're done, after you just shut it all off and you sit down and you close your eyes and you listen to nice soft music or maybe some Enya or some sort of like really cool, gentle session that you might be able to get yourself into. And the next thing you know, it all washes away for a period of time. Even if it's just for that half hour that you're in that meditation, it washes away. And then what happens after you're done with those, because I've done meditation and I've done the mental side of this aspect of it. So after you're done with that session, then when you go back into the fray and you go back into the muck and the craziness and the wildness and the negativity and all the different stuff being thrown at you, you're more apt to being able to attack it and deliver on the things that you're trying to be able to deliver. You're clearer minded. You're thinking to yourself, nothing really can get in my way from achieving my goals. So whatever it is, whatever you want to invest in yourself with for that 4% of your day, do it. Make a plan around it. If you don't have a plan around it right now and you haven't done it yet, and whatever time of day that you're listening to this podcast, put it on your calendar. Open up your iPhone, open up your Android, open up your Motorola, whatever you got, open it up, go into your calendar and put down a calendar appointment. That's a recurring calendar appointment or whatever. If you've got to make it recurring so that way every day you get an alert at noon or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock to be able to invest in you, then do it. Why do you think a lot of people love different wearables that people have, right, on their watches and things like that? So your Apple Watch every hour or so will remind you, get up, start walking around, go do what you have to do, or breathe. Go through your breathing exercises, 1 minute of breathing in, breathing out, relaxing, getting yourself to the right place. Because we just get so stuck in the hustle and bustle of everything going on around us, we forget to invest in ourselves. So book it in your calendar. Put it right in there. Go in there right now. Open up your calendar app. Look at today's date. Enter it in today at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'm going to take the time to invest an hour in myself, or a half hour at 2 and then a half hour at 4. Where I'm going to go for a walk around the building because I normally sit at a desk or I sit in a cubicle and I need to walk around. Or if I'm a driver and I go out driving, well then great. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to invest a little bit of time to park further away from the building that I'm about to get to. So I want to walk a little bit extra distance and put that extra time in that adds up to that 4% overall that I'm going to invest in me. Make it work for you. Don't think of it as such a task, or don't think of it as such a monumental, crazy thing that you've got to do and, I'm not in a good place with this or whatever. Change your mindset. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I have to do it for myself. Because there are some good days and some bad days. There are some good days that I look at it and I say, I'm doing this. This is amazing. I'm in the zone. I'm ready to go, just like I shared earlier. And there are other days it does take work. But if I look at it differently and just change my lens and change my point of view of how I look at what my 4% is, I'm more apt to being successful. I'm more apt to being somebody that's going to be able to achieve goals, somebody that's going to be able to invest in myself and still handle life, handle the drama, handle situations that are going on around me, but still at the same time being able to invest in that. Now, here's the other question. How bad is 4%? How bad is 1 hour? We look at it as such a monumental thing of doing a workout for that period of time, or going for a walk for that period of time, or meditating for that period of time, or whatever it is that you're doing, or whatever you choose to do. But really, at the end of the day, how bad is it? Could you sit in front of the TV and watch a sitcom or a TV show for an hour with no questions asked? Could you put on Netflix and be able to watch 5 or 6 hours worth of binge watching on shows that you want to be able to watch because it's entertaining to you and you're good to go with no questions asked, with not even thinking, batting an eyelash? Could you go out with your friends at 8 o'clock at night and party until 1 o'clock in the morning, close out the bars and do what you have to do for 5 hours with no questions asked? With not even thinking of the fact that, as a matter of fact, you're probably thinking, I wish I had more time. But for the 1 hour of investment that you have in yourself, we look at it as being such a huge thing. We look at it as being such a monumental, giant hill to climb because it's 1 hour. Why? All the other things that I just listed, we don't even bat an eyelash at, and we just go forward and just do it when we really should be doing the same exact thing for the hour of investment in us. Because the little bit of work that you do right now within that hour time frame, the longer term it's going to last for you. Everybody in their right mind knows exercise matters. Exercise helps you stretch your muscles. Exercise helps your heart become a little bit more elastic. All the different things that goes on in your mind and your heart and your soul and your body all stems from exercise. It does. Now, we don't have to exercise. You don't have to be somebody that's going to go for runs and marathons and those kind of things. Exercise can mean different things to different people. Even if it's just from you, if you're a person that has to sit at the desk for you to stand up and do some squats out of the seat, or walk around every hour for 10 minutes around the building or around whatever, or going to get some water, or getting out of your seat once an hour, or whatever it is, it all can add up. It all can accumulate and be able to add up for you to that 4%. So think of it that way. Don't think of it as being such a hard, tedious thing. Think of it as being an investment of your time and your energy for your long-term life and habits, for you to live a longer, richer, and more prosperous life. That's what we have to do. We got to think about it differently. We got to flip the script a little bit. We got to stop looking at it as being such a tedious, monumental thing, but rather an investment in ourselves, an investment with an automatic guaranteed return. I mean, think about that. Lottery, cards, whatever else, we make investments in those, hoping we get the big hit or a return on it, when this is a guaranteed investment. Any bit of exercise, any bit of investment in you is guaranteed an investment in the long run. So it's guaranteed this way, but it's not guaranteed down the road of the lottery or cards or whatever. And we're more apt to play in the cards and the lottery because it might be fun, or maybe there's a risk to it or whatever else. On this end, we know we're going to get something back from our investment, and we still don't make the investment the way we should. Change your mindset. Flip the script around. Do what's necessary for you to think a little differently about you and your journey and what direction you want to go and how hard and how much you want to fight to get there. Okay? Let's do this together. Let's change it up. Let's invest our 4%, our 1 hour. That's all we're going to ask of ourselves, to invest in us to be able to move forward and be great and be the best version of ourselves. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to Coffee Talk with Liquidshano 1973 podcast. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms at Liquidshano 1973. And if you could do us a favor, pop on over to iTunes and show us some love and leave some feedback there for us. Talk later.